Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 9 of the Formula Trout Premier Series Championship here tonight. You've got me, myself, and that's it in the commentator's booth. Sponsored by CRG Romania here for the Singapore Grand Prix for tonight. We've got quite a mixed-up one tonight for you. Let's have a look at some of the track information then, shall we? 23 turns, 5 kilometers in length, and a lap record at the moment set by Andreas Schulder, who took it in the last second during pre-practice just now. So a blinding lap, a 1:39.3, which is absolutely ridiculous around this circuit. Even myself having some experience in this car around this circuit, doing a little bit of practice before this stream. But yes, sponsored by CRG Romania for this one. It's a big sponsor. We're happy to have them on board for this race. Speaking of CRG Romania, Maximilian Younger, it's his final race here in the Hybrid Series, or Premier Series, for the foreseeable future until next summer at least. So Maximilian, driving for CRG's team in the Premier Series, will be looking to make an impression in this race here tonight. So we shall have a look at an onboard lap then. On board with Andreas Schulder then. We'll head into turn 1. Using as much curb as you possibly can through there. Trying not to go too wide on the exits of that one. And into the next little sector here. Down the next DRS straight, you want to make sure you're maximizing the exit as much as possible here. Heading into one of the hardest braking zones here at Singapore. Trying to not lock up at any point, as Andreas does there, but he's going to hold it off nicely there. Trying to swing it through for the left-hander here onto another little straight before the old sling chicane, which has now been removed. And into the bridge section, beautifully lining it up there is Andreas. And down the next DRS straight, Andreas lining it up for the left side of the track here. The 100-meter board is where he wants to be braking, lining that up perfectly as he comes into the final sector then. Touch of the wall there, get as close as he dares to it. Lovely to see all the Formula Trout sponsors here at Singapore. Into the little grandstand section there. You can see the CRG sponsors all over this little section here. Love to see it. And into the final little sector. Be as brave as you dare into this final little left-hander. And that will be your lap of Singapore. Let's head into the on-track action then, where we'll see Mixer Multifrum on a lap at the moment. Currently no laps on the board, but qualifying has just got underway, so we'll leave it for now, but we're on board with Mixer Multifrum. We'll actually go fully on board with Mixer here for this one. It's looking like a good lap so far, so we'll stick on board with him for now. Across the bridge we go. And into the next DRS straight. Getting a solid lap so far from Mixer. We're hoping he can line it up here in the last sector. Put some times on the board for us. Qualifying 20 minutes long, so lots of time for the drivers to get their times in. But no multiple sessions, there's only this one session. Mixer rounds out the final corner, and then it's going to be what looks to be a 42.4, which puts him just ahead of Paul Magsire, who is the Formula Trout current hybrid champion. Andreas Schulder comes in with a 42.0 there, looking great in that Griffin Gaming car. Again, it's going to be a good race, this one. Maximilian Younger there, popping his CRG car into 5th. Looking great as ever. Damien DeGrasse, another strong contender for this one in the Octane racing car there. Showing very strong pace in pre-practice. Actually holding the lap record for quite a while until Andreas pipped him off that one. Andreas Schilder though, 1,000th behind David Halligan. That is very, very close indeed. And the track seems to be low grip at the moment. I'll just confirm that with myself at the moment. And what I believe it is 97% grip. We'll be looking at that app throughout this session to see whether the grip has gone up and down or not. So again, we've got quite a lot of contenders tonight, as you can see on the left side. These are the times that have been set at the moment. Who is that on their side? We'll have to have a look later on, but again, the Octane car there. Not looking too good there, but Damien DeGrasse is showing that the Octane car has a little bit of pace at the moment. Let's see if he can capitalize on that. This may be a slow down lap, but we'll see as he continues round on this one. Paul Magzar entering the pits there, as you can see on your left hand side. Yeah, it looks like Damien DeGrasse backing off on this one. Alex Cochrane coming in with the Nova car there. Popping in a 42.4 there from Alex Cochrane. 4 tenths off the pace at the moment. Maximilian Younger coming out of the blue there with a what looks to be a 42.1. So very close to the top there, especially in these low grip conditions. Got quite a few drivers not really setting the laps they wanted at the moment. Maybe this is due to the grip catching them off guard and not being able to put the laps in that they wanted. But Maximilian Younger, a good lap from him. Straight out the bat, that's what he wants to be doing, especially towards the end of qualifying. Wants to time that last lap perfectly. Make sure you can capitalize on that one. Let's have a look around. So he was on a lap then. Alex Cochrane maybe on a lap here, I'm not too sure. Not looking like it at the moment. We'll continue looking around. Dave Salford, another quick driver here in today's fields. This is looking like a quick lap. We'll stay on board with him for the rest of this lap. See where this puts him. We'll actually get the performance delta up. Give us a better insight onto who's on their laps and not. 7 tenths up is Dave Salford at the moment, and that will put him well up the field currently. He is 4 seconds down at the moment, so maybe a little mistake in the last sector could have cost him previously, and that's where he'll find the time. He's finding more and more everywhere on this current lap. So we'll see as he rounds the final sector, losing a little bit of time there. And he's going to enter the pits. Here's David Halligan, David Salford. Makes him more tea from. Looks to be the next one on a flying lap. We'll stay with him for now. You can see the little delta there showing if he's up or down on his lap time. And we'll keep looking at that throughout the rest of this lap. So keep your eyes on the bottom right, ladies and gents. Driving the Forza Sahara car. Bringing a bit of desert to the Singapore streets tonight. His mixer 5 tenths up at the moment. And that could well and truly put him on provisional pole position. Although I doubt that will stay for long with the track constantly evolving. Again, we'll have a look at the track grip. And yep, it has gone up 1% to 98. So constantly improving. And this track will rapidly improve with the amount of drivers putting laps in at the moment. And with our 16 runners tonight, it's going to improve quite quickly indeed. It's looking like a nice, tidy lap here from Mixer, though. Could well be the contender for provisional pole. We'll go on board with him for the final 3 corners. And it looks like Mixer's going to put it on... Ooh, just off, actually. Dave Halligan puts in a 41.3 and Mixer just 1 tenth off of that. And that's going to give some work to Andreas Schilder and Maximilian Younger there. The guy's only 7 tenths behind. But I'm sure that won't be too much of an issue for those guys. They'll just stick a new set of Formula softs on. Maximilian Younger looking to be on his outlet, but keep an eye on him for now. Dave Brave in an unmarked livery. Might not have that one on, so I do apologise for that one. But Damien DeGrasse is looking to have found some pace here. 1.5 seconds up. This could be a lap that puts him towards the top of the field. And again, another 5 attempts there. This could be the one that sends him towards the top. And that's what we want to see here tonight. Another 3 tenths of a second found in that one corner. This could be the lap here from Damien. He comes to round out the final corner. He's found another 4 attempts. Could it be enough to put it on pole? Not quite. It's going to put 5 attempts down on that. Andreas Schulder, who's already broke the 39s on what I believe to be 99% grip at the moment. It's on 100% now, so we're going to start seeing some very, very quick laps coming in thick and fast. So keep your eyes peeled, ladies and gents. It's going to get spicy very, very quickly here. And some key faces to watch out for here will be Damien Hall and Maxi Younger. Maybe Mixer as well. Mixer has been mixing it up, as per the name. And I think Dave Southwood could be in here. Dave, I know, is quite a quick guy, so it wouldn't surprise me if he couldn't get traffic. That's quite unfortunate for Dave there. And the DAC car, not what he wanted on a flying lap, that's for sure. He's racing on his flying lap, and he's going to have to back out of this one, it seems. I know he's still going at it, is Dave. And he's still going to fight this lap, I think. We've got a car around there. It's that Griffin Gaming car. Is that Andreas Schulder? No, it's not. Who is that? We'll have a look through the field here just to see who that is. And it looked to be Christoph Bose, who's had a little bit of a spin there going across the bridge. It's where I got caught up quite a bit as well during the practice I did during the server. So very understandable as to how he's lost it there. Alex Cochrane rounding out his flying lap then in the Nova car there, putting him into P7, a solid lap there. 1.6 seconds off the pace at the moment, but a 41.5. Quite a good lap for there from Alex. He'll be wanting more though. Well, Alex. And again, just to clarify, we are running mixed splits tonight. So normally we'll be running the Master Split and the Challenger Split, but tonight, since we've ran the numbers down, we've mixed splits, merged them tonight. So we will be technically having 2 classes of races. It's going to be quite hard for me to follow this, so I do apologise. So we'll just go by order of the grid at the moment, and I'm sure it'll equalise later on in the race. But nonetheless, we're in for a treat for tonight. One of the biggest grids I think the Premier Series has seen in a while. And on a track like Singapore, it doesn't get it much better than that. Alex Cochrane then coming in for an in lap. Damien DeGrasse exiting the pits, letting someone pass there. Just scanning through the track, see if we've got on a lap. David Halligan appears to be on a lap here in the other Octane car. That explains the other one. 4 attempts up is Dave Halligan. We'll go on board for the rest of this lap. Nice and tidy, losing a little bit on the exit there. Too much entry speed into that one, but you could make up for it here. Into the bridge section. Shifting early there. And oh, a tap of the wall. That's going to cost him. Losing 5 attempts to use that tap of the wall there, and that's going to cost him some aero damage as well, but a little bit of time gained there. And Dave will be punching himself for that one. Six attempts as he rounds out the final corner. David Halligan Well, it's going to be close, but a 140.7 for David Halligan there. Puts him 8 tenths off the pace at the moment, but still all to play for at the moment. As Paul Magza, the previous Trot Hybrid champion, looking to set a quick lap here. Sadly losing the time he gained there, but maybe can gain some in the last sector here. Of course, moving to Forza Sahara for the season after departing with BM during the last season, with that iconic battle between him and Max Hamlin. Going into the pits then, that lap not going to be completed. Who is that? Rounding out the final lap, it's Andreas Schilder, who's going to set the fastest lap time of all times, apparently, according to the server. I know that's 3 tenths off what he's actually done of all times, but that's still a very, very, very quick lap, and I don't think... Well, you never know. Maybe we'll be surprised, but I don't think anyone will be able to beat that. That is quite a good lap from Andreas, and we'll see later on if anyone can beat that. Damien DeGrasse looking feisty at the moment, and he clips the wall. Commentator's curse strikes again, and Damien losing the 5 tenths advantage he had there. And that would have been a barnstorming lap time from Damien there. A little bit of oversteer as he comes into the final sector, but unfortunate for Damien, that's going to be the end of that lap. Coming into the pits for a new set of tyres, I imagine. Maximilian Younger, the next one on a flying lap. We'll go on board with this one. Heading to the bridge section, keeping out the walls very well there. Into the hairpin. Onto the next DRS straight. Find a little bit more time, a little bit of oversteer on the exit there though. That's going to cost him a tenth or two. Into the next braking zone. See, still finding the time. Needs to get the exit right and does so. Braking on point there from Maxi as he rounds out the final sector. 7 tenths up now. This could be a hell of a lap from Maxi here. A little bit slow into that little sector there, but he's going to reap the benefits in this next little sector. Using all the curb he can into the final corner. Throwing the car in. And that is going to be a 40.3 P2 for Maximilian Younger, beating Damien DeGrasse on his 3rd lap, I believe that is. That is a brilliant lap from Maximilian Younger. If you can find a little bit more pace, you may be up there with Andreas Schilder at any time. That'll be a fantastic effort from him tonight in his final race of Trot League. Damien DeGrasse looking to be on that lap at the moment. Paul Magza, though, quite the opposite, seeming to be on the start of his flying lap. Will stay looking at his lap at the moment. 2 tenths up as we speak, as we head into the second major braking zone of the lap. 3 tenths up as per. To get into the next little right-left section. Needs to get the exit right on this one. And does so, gaining a tiny bit there into the old Singapore sling. And into the bridge section, throwing it in nicely. Gaining quite a little bit of time there into the next little hairpin. Losing a tiny bit, but gaining it all back on the exit. And a little bit of a tow there from the car in front. And into the next braking zone. Hard right-hander. Can he pull out the stops here in the final sector? Paul is going to need at least a second advantage by the end of this sector. And it's going to take a mighty last sector to do so. Four attempts up in the middle of the last sector, and it's looking good at the moment for Paul. Using all the curb he can. 5 attempts as he comes towards the last corner. Can he find any more? And it's going to cost him so much on that understeer moment. And that is P3 for Paul Magza, only 5,000 behind Maximilian Younger. Very, very close stuff then as we head into the final few seconds of the qualifying section. We'll have a look down the field to see who's on their laps. Dave Brave currently on a flying lap. I'm not quite sure why his livery's not showing up. That's a little bit annoying, but I'm sure we can spot him out throughout the race tonight. So apologies to Dave there for the livery issue. But at the moment, Dave looking to find a little bit more pace here, as he's 3, 4, 5 tenths up on his previous lap time across the bridge he goes into the braking point for the hairpin. Six tenths up into the final sector then for Dave as he heads to the next right-left combination. Finding another tenth of a second, but losing it on the exit there as he heads into the grandstand section. And can he find a little bit more on the exit here? He can. It's going to be a tenth of a second, but can he hold it throughout this last little bit? He's going to need to take a brave line, does Dave. And he loses a tiny bit, but he's still going to be an advantage for him. That's P9 for Dave Brave at the moment. Qualifying looking to be over then, but is there anyone else on a flying lap? Dmitry Kamashov looking to be on his flyer, 6 tenths up at the moment. Can he find any more? He does so on the final corner, but it's not going to be enough to improve or take a position from Cyprian Stoyan. And that looks to be the end of our qualifying session here tonight. Christoph Bose on another lap. I don't know whether this is a proper one. Although very well could be, actually. I could be wrong. Losing a little bit is Christoph, but this is looking to be the final flying lap. We'll go on board with Christoph here. He finds a little bit more time and then loses it again, going deep. Can he keep it up throughout the final sector? Heading into the final corner then, Christoph finds a tenth of a second. Is that going to be enough to make a position? It's not. And that is going to be your grid for tonight, ladies and gents. We'll look at that now. Andreas Schilder, your pole man for tonight. Followed by Maximilian Younger, who takes probably the best outcome he could have wanted, apart from pole position. That is where he wants to be tonight, just ahead of Paul Magzar and David Halligan. Those top 5 looking very, very feisty tonight, with Damien DeGrasse, who I thought would be well up there with Andreas Schilder tonight, in P5. Not where I thought he'd be, to be honest. A 1 minute 40.5 for him. Christoph Bose lines up behind him, 141.116. Dave Selford right behind him. Nixon Motifrum comes in P8. Alex Cochrane alongside him. Dave Brave in P10. Cyprian Stoyan comes in at P11. Dmitry Kamashov in P12. Tim Omlu right behind him in P13, and Bob Deacon P14, Mike Thompson in P15, and Stephen Heppener in P16. And we've got Burton Liddles right behind him in P17 for tonight. So we're going to go to an intermission, but we'll be back very, very shortly for the race. Well, we are back, ladies and gents, and it's about to become lights out here at Singapore. The lights will start to illuminate then. Andreas Schilder on pole position, Maximilian Junge alongside him. And it's lights out here at Singapore. Andreas Schilder with quite a good start there, as he's alongside, he's well ahead into T1 actually, is Christoph Bose heading round to T3 then. So head back up the field towards the front. Andreas Schilder, Maximilian Junge side by side with the Paul Magsa there. As head round onto the first DRS straight. Of course, no DRS on the first laps of tonight. But Maximilian Junge holding on to P2 as it stands at the moment. But Paul Magsa is not going to let him have that for long as he goes around the outside of the end of that DRS straight. And Maximilian Junge is not going to take any second of that. He's going to be wanting to get that position back as soon as possible. Damien de Grasse is now all over the inside. We've got a big incident behind there. Dmitry Kamashov, Mixon Motif from all involved in that one, with Cyprian Stoen as well. Maximilian Junge, though, still in P3. Damien de Grasse right behind him at the moment. It's not going to be an easy overtake for Damien here on Maximilian Junge. He's going to be wanting as many positions as he wants tonight. But Paul Magsa chasing down Andreas Schilder. This is looking to be like a feisty fight for tonight's race. 45 laps, of course, so non-stop action for you tonight here at Singapore. Dave Salford is in the mix in P5 there. What has happened to Dave Halligan? There he is in P7, right behind Alex Cochrane, who's made up positions here tonight. P6 for Alex at the moment. Well, good effort from the start of the race from Alex Cochrane, and that's what we love to see on track. And let's have a look if we've got any close battles. Mike Thompson having a little bit of an issue there at the back of the field with Burton Luttels, but Burton just getting past there. Tim Omloop is all over the rear of Stephen Hepner, and he's going to be wanting a position up the inside here. Tim Omloop, but no, it's not going to happen on this occasion. As Cochrane on the rear of what appears to be Dave Salford at the moment, and that is going to be a good battle coming up towards the middle of this race. Of course, Alex, the owner of DAC and racing for Nova Finlandia. I'm not quite sure how that one works, but I guess that is an issue for Alex Cochrane. He goes deep into the end of the DRS straight, and he's going to be cursing at that one. It's Alex. That is not what he wanted at all. Another lockup. His tires are going to be red hot now. And that is going to be a bad one for Alex. It's going to hinder his race entirely. He's going to be wanting to make up positions as soon as possible. Damien de Grasse still on the rear of Maximilian Junge here. Maxi's pulling out a tiny bit of a gap, but not enough to get out of DRS range, which is crucial in these cars, of course. DRS playing a huge role in overtaking in the last few years of F1. So far, Damien doing a good job keeping on the track of Maximilian Junge, and of course, as well doing a good job is Dave Salford. This train at the moment is looking very intimidating. Paul Magsa, of course, leading this train at the moment. You can see in the background there Maximilian Junge, who's coming into the pits for an unknown reason. Could that be a stop-go penalty? Do we reckon it could very well be the case? I don't see any other reason as to why Maxi would stop this early in the race, unless it's some bold strategy move from Maximilian Junge here. We'll have a look later on. But Damien de Grasse now inherits P3 from Maximilian Junge's early pit stop. This could be a bold, hard tyre swap from Maxi Junge here, as he swaps to mediums, and I believe... Could that be a fuel issue from Maxi there? I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see later on in the race. That is unfortunate for Maxi Junge. Burton Luttels also pitting in. Mike Thompson as well. That is very interesting to see. Maybe damage early on for those guys. Dave Salford though up to P4 now, right behind Damien de Grasse. This could be a battle that could very well go towards the end of the race. Tim Omlu and Stephen Hepner side by side at the moment. We'll have a look at this little battle. It's a three-way battle with Dmitry Kamashov right in the back as well. That's going to be an interesting one as we head down this next short little straight into the old Singapore Sling area. Of course, not the Singapore Sling anymore, but still, it's providing good racing tonight. That is Tim. It's not Tim Omloo, it's Stephen Heppener who's getting past there on Dmitry Kamashov. But Dmitry, a mighty send into that hairpin there, and that gets him past once again. No DRS for those guys yet, though. Let's see at the end of this lap, Dmitry just turning in a little bit early there on Stephen Heppener, but Heppener still holding on nicely. It's Dmitry though. Oh, a little bit of a tap there, and that's going to send Dmitry into the wall, and Dmitry won't be happy with that one for sure, as he just barely misses out on the wall there. But Damien DeGrasse is all over the rear of Paul Magza. This is for the battle for P2 at the moment. We're only 4 laps in. This race is going to be a good one, folks, so keep your eyes peeled. Here we go then. Damien DeGrasse should have DRS. He does indeed. And this could be a move on Paul Magza, but not quite yet. It doesn't look like he's got the straight line pace on Paul as he tries to make some moves, but not happening at the moment. He's going to need to pace himself, pace the tyres, and see if he can make a move later on. Of course, Dave Southwood looming in the background is he. And don't take Dave out of the question yet. Of course, winning one race in Monza last year, and that was quite a gifted win, but he was there for the position. So Dave Southwood, he could be a factor in this race later on. And just looming in the back there, as you can see, the little DSE car could very well be a player in this podium battle as we head on into the later stages of the race. But at the moment, Paul Magza is trying his damnedest to fend off Damien DeGrasse. Damien doing a stellar job at keeping him pinned at the moment. As Paul Magza going very, very wide, and that's going to gift Damien DeGrasse and Dave Southwood the podium positions. And Paul Magza is going to be cursing at himself for that one, as nobody wanted at all, and he's going to be wanting to find some pace now to get back at these guys in front. Dave Halligan though, rubbing his hands together is he. As he goes right down the inside. What an absolute brilliant move from David Halligan. As Paul Magza making a little mistake there, and David Halligan all over that one, sending up into P4 and now chasing down the top 3 of today's race. As he goes wide, I say that. He's going to hold on to it. Lost a little bit of time to Paul Magza there, so no real time gained. David Halligan looking strong then, especially in terms of racecraft here tonight. But Dave Southwood, he's still on the tail of Damien DeGrasse here, within DRS range. This is the key factor here as Damien comes across some lap traffic here. Looks like Burton Luttles in front of him, as Burton lets him pass there. Southwood getting past as well, that's great to see. And it's coming in that Maxi appeared to have some sort of fuel issue, which is absolutely devastating for him on his final race of the season. Let's hope we can have a mighty recovery drive. Better that it happened towards the start of the race than the end of the race. That's all I have to say for that one, I'm afraid. But hopefully we can see a mighty recovery drive from Maxi here tonight. Any top 10 position for him will be fantastic here. Maybe even a top 5 for Maxi with the pace he's got at the moment. We'll have to wait and see for that one. But Paul Magza is pitting here, and he's come to a complete stop in the middle of the pit lane, and I don't know what's going on here. Could this be a retirement for Paul Magza here tonight? I very much hope it isn't. Not quite sure what's going on. Could be some sort of hardware issue for Paul, which will be unfortunate for him. And it looks like it's going to be a DNF for Paul Magza, our first DNF of tonight. Very, very unfortunate to see. But anyways, Dmitry Kamashov is on the hard tyres of all tyres. Looking to be chasing down Mike Thompson here up ahead. Using all the slip angle he can try. Maybe down the main straight. That beautiful CRG banner up there. Animated as well. Can you believe it? As Mike Thompson makes a little bit of an error into T1 there. And that's going to cost him dear. But Mike Thompson is still there, Dmitry. He's still there. As Mike Thompson then will be wanting that position back. As he heading down the back straight then. The first DRS activation zone of the lap. Mike Thompson not getting the straight line speed he needs to overtake Dmitry here, but that's okay for now. Damien DeGrasse slowly building the gap then to Dave Selfwood here, and looking to be catching up to Andreas Schauder. Andreas in a league of his own at the moment, to be honest. No one really in touching distance. Yeah. Damien DeGrasse, the only real threat at the moment, showing some good pace early on. We'll see if Damien can keep that pace on and pressure Andreas a little bit more. That'd be good to see towards the end. But David Halligan closing in on Dave Selfwood now. Dave Selfwood needs to start picking up the pace a little bit here if he wants to secure that position and keep Halligan out of the DRS range, which is absolutely crucial here tonight. Stephen Heppenat, unfortunately, losing position to Dave Brave there. I'm not quite sure what's happened. Looks like a little bit of an error there from Stephen Heppenat. But unfortunately, that drops him down to P12. Cyprian Stoian making a move on Mike Thompson, who looks to be having a little bit of an issue there in the last sector. Makes a Motti for him. Battle I didn't see at all until now. Makes Motti for him and Christoph Bose. The battle for P5 at the moment. Mixer looking like a racy car at the moment. And Christoph Bose will be checking his rearview mirrors all the time. Mixer mixing it up once again. Andreas Schauder setting in a fastest lap of the race. Prompting Damien to increase his pace a little bit there. And looks like we've got a little bit of a spin there. I heard the car quite slow, but looks to be cleared off now. Green flag's being waved. As you can see in the background there, the flashing green lights. And yeah, that looks to be the car of Mike Thompson, if I'm not mistaken. It is indeed. Looks Motti from then. 4 attempts behind Christoph Bose, but it's not going to happen this early on, I don't think. Mixer just playing it patient at the moment. Smart thing to do at this current time. Of course, it'd be interesting to talk about strategy tonight. Now, from what I understand, the softs will last around 12 to 13 or 12 to 15 laps, I believe. So we could be seeing some softer medium strategies tonight, maybe some softer hards for people who want to push a little bit harder. But Mixer here seems to be pushing hard on the softs, which I don't think that's a strategy, Mixer, but if you want to make that work, you can make that work, and he's made it work going around the outside of Christoph Bose there. And Bose will be wanting vengeance after that one from Mixer. Stunning move there from him. And up into P5 for him. Moving up the field, David Halligan is still chasing down Dave Selfwood. He's still showing some equal pace between, yeah, literally equal pace between him and Selfwood. Which is good to see. Nice to see even pace as I say that. David Halligan just losing the rear and saving it nicely there actually. And Tim Omlu having a little bit of an issue there. Not what we like to see, but unfortunately for Tim, caught him off guard, a little bit of oversteer. But Tim's got his eyes set on Dave Brave right in front of him now. Max Younger, the unsung hero tonight, moving up to P9 from moving towards the back of the field. This is going to be a recovery drive from Max here tonight. And at the moment, doing quite a good job, gaining quite a few positions very early on. It's only lap 9, he's back up to P9. Sizing up his next move, then Bob Deacon right in front of him, as you can see. Very late on the brakes is Maxi, closing that gap right up to Bob. Maxi just looking for any way around at the moment. And looking like Bob Deacon letting it pass then. As just before the bridge there, I believe. David Halligan, as you can see on the left side there, just losing time to Dave Southwood now after that previous lap. Maxi doing a good job thus far. Let's have a look further up the field then. Christoph Bowes setting in some good laps at the moment. 2 seconds away from Mixer Motti for him, of course. Mixer recently overtaking him. So Christoph a little bit down on pace on Mixer at the moment. Very even gaps at the moment throughout the field. And at the moment, your leader, Andreas Schulder, still pulling out that lead at the front of the field. And it's looking like a hook, line, and sinker race here for Andreas. It's been practice, qualifying, and dessert for all he's concerned at the moment. Stephen Heppener making moves on Tim Omlu, and Tim coming into the pits. Looking for a little bit of a tyre change, it seems. Mediums strapped on to his car there. As you can see, the yellow walled tyres there, signifying the tyre choice everyone's driving tonight. All live updated, of course. As you can see, Andreas Schilder sporting the softs at the moment on his first stint here tonight. We'll see if we can find our hard runner. And there they are, Dmitry Kimishov running the hards here tonight. Just little things to keep your eye on throughout this race. Cyprian Storian in the Octane Porsche, currently in P14, but running the hards as well after an early pit stop from him. Car sounding very nice as he exits some of these corners. David Halligan looking like he's gaining a little bit there on Dave Southwood. It should be nice to see a little bit of a battle for the podium. That's what we want to see towards the end of this race tonight. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if David can catch up here to Southwood. At the moment, it's looking like the second half of the stint is paying into Halligan's favour here. If he doesn't touch the wall, that would be preferable to him. And losing 2 tenths there in that last sector. Maybe he can gain some back towards the end of his lap there. A little bit of a battle there. Dave Brave and Bob Deacon. Both seem to be battling out at the moment in the final sector. And Dave getting past Bob Deacon there. Solid move from him. Looking down the field. Got a few gaps opening and closing. We'll have a look. Throughout here. Dave Halligan, the main one at the moment. The battle for the podium positions. And a little bit of a traffic in between him and Southwood here. Which has cost him a little tiny bit of time, but not too much to hinder him that much. But Dave Southwood, the first person in the top 3 to pit stop, and we'll see what tyres he goes for here. Dave Southwood, of course, running the softs at the moment, so we'll see what he goes onto here, and I'm expecting it to be the medium tyres, and it is indeed. Dave Southwood opting for the medium tyres towards the end of the race, looking to be a one-stop race here tonight. Christoph Bowes, the next person to take a pit stop. And of course should be pitting for the mediums as well. And looking to be a double soft stint for Bowes here. That's going to be an interesting one. And Alex Cochrane making moves on Christoph Bowes then around the outside of turn 3 there. Dmitry Kamashov and Stephen Epner having a little bit of a switcheroo there. Dmitry having a little bit of a lockup, but Stephen Epner doing one more and hitting the wall there. And a little bit of damage for Stephen Epner there. That's not going to be is in his favour, as that's not paying into Dimitri's favour either, as he finds a little bit of oversteer on the exit there. As that's a brave turnaround there from Dimitri, and I believe that was David Halligan. It was indeed. It wasn't, sorry, it was the other Octane car of... Oh, I forget. Damien DeGrasse, that's it. How did I forget that? As David Halligan comes to the pits now, this is going to be the one. It'll be interesting to see whether the overcut, the undercut works in anyone's favour. And Halligan is behind Southwood, and by quite a margin, 7 seconds behind. So the undercut, absolutely mighty around the circuit. Chris Bowes all over the rear of Alex Cochrane, and this is a DRS straight, and we're going to see whether Christoph can send a move here. Not looking likely, though. It's Christoph struggling to make a move here. Of course, Singapore not being the greatest overtaking track, let's be honest. But he's going to try and find a way around at some point. Another DRS straight coming up here, so keep your eyes peeled. And Christoph sending it down the inside, a mighty send there from Christoph Bowes, but Alex Cochrane having absolutely none of it. A comeback attempt there from Alex Cochrane. And he's made it stick, has Alex. A brilliant move there from Alex Cochrane, then defending his position for P6 at the moment. A good effort from him at the moment. Dave Salford getting past Damien DeGrasse. What's happened here then? Damien looking like he's had some sort of issue. Either that or he's coming to the pits. I can't remember whether Damien has pitted yet or not. But at the moment, Dave Salford is running with it at the moment. He's Mixed Motifrum leading the race at the moment due to not pitting, I would imagine. And Andrea Schilder now in P2 and on soft still, which is interesting to see actually. Seeming everyone opting for the double soft stints, and that could mean a 2-stop here for most drivers as Christoph Bose makes a move on Alex Cochrane, and Alex Cochrane having to concede in that attempt from Christoph Bose. Unfortunately for him, he wouldn't like that one bit. Yeah, Mixon Motifrum, your current race leader. I'm not sure whether he's pitted yet, but I'm assuming he has not. As he rounds out the final few corners, we'll see if he comes to the pit this lap. He does not. Trying to extend these softs as much as possible then. His mixer maybe trying to go for the old 1-stop on softs, could it be? Could this be the strategy that everyone's been running after? Mixed Motifrum could be onto something as Andreas Schilder slowly but surely catching up. Burton Luttel's the second non-finisher of tonight, unfortunately. Mike Thompson locking up there. That was good timing. And looking like he's going to spin it round. It's beautifully done. As Tim Omloo makes a move on Stephen Hepner having to concede this time. Alex Cochrane conceding to Max Younger, but due to the fact he needs to make a pit stop, so Alex will be changing the tyres on that Nova Gaming car to some mediums. Still not sure what the optimal strategy is around here, so it's going to be a Alex back on track then, and we'll see what times he sets later on. Christoph Bose P6 now, looking like he's catching up to Damien DeGrasse here a little bit. In fact, quite a bit. I'm not quite sure what's happened to Damien here. He's having some sort of issue. He's caught up quite a bit. It's Christoph Bose here to Damien. And I'm not quite sure what Damien's doing. A little bit of an issue as Damien had. Looks like he has. What is going on here with Damien DeGrasse? Christoph Bose just let past there. Very, very weird. Could this be damage for Damien DeGrasse? Or could this be some form of rig issue? Hardware simulated issue? Won't be sure. But Mixon Motifrum the net race leader. Now into the pits, see what tyres he goes on to. It's onto the medium, so Mixon Motifrum. Very bold decision then. To stay up for that long on the softs. Obviously it's paid off though. Into P4 for Mixon Motifrum. And Damien DeGrasse pulled over to the side of the pit lane. Could this be the third retiree of tonight? I hope not, but it's looking dire here for Damien DeGrasse as no engine sound can be heard. He switched off the engine and it's looking like it could be the end of his race, and it appears to be what I think could be a hardware issue for Damien DeGrasse. A mechanical failure in sim racing, can you believe it? But Andreas Schilder, he's back in the lead. You can see the 0-1 on his wheels there. That signifies his position on track at the moment. Another great feature of the Formula Hybrid X 2021. Which, of course, we're running the 2022 regulations, but of the time the mod was released, they were 2021 before it was pushed back, but still looking great as per. And the Griffin Gaming car looking great in these lights tonight, especially with the 0-1 next to the wheels on Andreas Schilder's car. Dave Salford, though, looking kind of racy there on his mediums. It'll be interesting to see what Andreas does here with his stints. Because, of course, Andreas hitting for another set of softs. Not quite sure how that's going to work for him. At the moment, no real close battles. Apology for the lack of action. We've still got some gaps though, being chased down. So keep your eyes peeled. Strategies to unfold as of yet. Of course. Lap 18 of 45 here tonight. We're just about to reach halfway, of course. 22.5 laps. So keep an eye out for that. Maximilian Younger having a little bit of an off there. That's not what we want to see. But still P6 for Maxi at the moment. And changing to the mediums might have done him dividends early on. Maxi now P6 after having to drop back to the end of the grid. And just confirming now, Damien DeGrasse wheel issues for him. So yes, confirmed mechanical issues for Damien DeGrasse, which is incredibly unfortunate for him. He's doing really, really well up until that point. Great pace shown all weekend, and unfortunately it has to end in a mechanical failure. It's just a part of racing, unfortunately. Max Younger coming into the pits, then we'll see where this brings him out. Hopefully he's done the hard work and won't have to suffer any position losses here, really, apart from Alex Cochrane, who appears to be coming in thick and fast here in another gaming car, and takes P7 from Maxi Younger, but I don't think that's... I think that's going to be it for Maxi in terms of deficit here. Got some ground to make up here, does everyone. Dave Halligan found himself in P3, as Dave Salford found himself in P2 as well. This is doing very well for these two. We've been keeping an eye on them the entire time. Bob Deacon actually getting past Maxi Younger there. Maxi will be wanting to get that position back as soon as possible. Of course, as we're on board with Maximilian Younger, might as well mention today's sponsor for the race, CRG Ramona. As you can see at the top of the trout stack on the side there, it will change very, very shortly to CRG Romania, our main sponsor for tonight. As you can see, lit all over the track. And on some of the cars, could you believe it? Track looking very, very nice here tonight with all the custom branding. Maxi looking very, very nice, overtaking Bob Deacon there into the old Singapore sling there. And that's him up to P8. Tim Omlu is looking a little bit racy here with Dmitry Kumashov. 8 tenths behind at the moment, and we'll see he's got a little bit of DRS on Dmitry. We'll see if he can make a move. A good exit from that corner there. And Tim Omlu. A little bit of a lock up there from Dmitry Kumashov, and that's going to cost him on his next DRS straight. Mumlu, we'll be waiting for the next DRS straight to make any moves here. On. Oh, and that is gutting for Tim Mumlu. Getting very, very close to Dimitri there, and unfortunately just losing out on the exit of that little corner. Very, very off-putting his own. I think it's a little bit off camber. Which is right, caught him off guard there. Moving up towards the top of the field, David Halligan 9 seconds behind Dave Salford now. The little battle we saw early on. The gap slowly creeping away from David Halligan. Unfortunately. Looking for any little gap increases or decreases at the moment. Mixer Mati from looking like the gap stable between him and David Halligan, but Mixer will be wanting to catch up as soon as possible to the guy in front. And is doing so actually now, getting a few tenths in that last few corners. Just staying on board for Mixer Mati from at the moment. It's looking like he's getting a bit of time. Lost a little bit in the last few sectors, but he's looking good at the moment. Cyprian Stoian, a little battle we've seen involved here on Bob Deacon. He's looking a little bit racy in the Oxfam Porsche car there. Gone to the off the trackside cameras for this one. Down the back straight, Cyprian Stoian in the points at the moment. Of course, points not being definitive at the moment. Of course, the mixed split issue we've got going on at the moment, but still providing some interesting racing here tonight. Bob Deacon will be checking his mirrors at the moment for Cyprian Stoian, and Cyprian looking like he's going to be let past by Bob Deacon, and up to P9. Yeah, a good pass there from Cyprian Stoian. So we'll see from still in that little gap between him and David Halligan. 5.8 is now. It's been hovering around that for the past few laps now, as we just passed the halfway mark of today's race here in Singapore. Cipriani coming into the pits then. I'm not quite sure why. Looking like he's coming off the hards. With the hards not having that great tyre life as he heads on to the mediums for the rest of the race, it seems. There's Christoph Bose also pitting from his second set of softs. And I suspect he'll be going on to the mediums here. And we'll see. A very quick stop from the Griffin Gaming boys, and a medium tyre is from Christoph. And Christoph coming up behind Dave Brave, and he'll be wanting to take that position away from Dave as soon as possible, get past him and make his way back up towards the top of the field. Christoph not actually losing that many positions from that pit stop. And if you just joined us, Paul Maggs, Damien DeGrasse and Burton Littles are DNFs for tonight, unfortunately. Damien, at the bad end of a hardware issue and having to retire of a mechanical issue with his gaming rig there. Not the way you want to end the sim race, really, with a hardware issue. Paul Maggs, not quite sure what happened to him. Maybe a bit of damage early on, or could have been another hardware issue from him, to be honest. But yeah, that ended his race very early on as well. Fortunately, the reigning champion looking to be quite racy here tonight, and unfortunately wasn't meant to be. Okay, we've got someone in the chat just letting us know what happened to Paul. Looks like he had some pit mini buttons unbound, and yeah, appears to have forced him out. So unfortunately for Paul, his race ended. What we'd say is a software issue. We'll call it that. It's Alex Cochran makes a move and Dave Brave. What's happened to Dave Brave here then? A little bit of an issue between him and Christoph Bose, maybe causing him to lose a few more positions. But Dave looking to be on similar pace to Alex Cochran here, so we could have a little battle on our hands towards the end of the race. We'll see how that pans out later on. Now, yep, thank you, Richard, from the pit lane. Richard's notebook, we'll call it. Vermin's notebook. With the bird's eye information as David Halligan comes to the pits for another pit stop. And I'm expecting this is going to be a medium set being thrown onto this car. And as if by magic, there it is. Medium tyres thrown onto that Octane car and headed straight out of the pit lane. Well over the white line though. Not quite sure that the car behind there will be too happy. But it's looking like they're lap traffic anyway. So David Halligan will be flying along then. The gap's seeming to just keep on increasing as Andreas Schilder on the soft tyre. Still, I believe this is his second set of softs and still not appeared again yet, which is interesting, and is doing quite well on his softs. I don't know, we'll go on board for a lap actually with Andreas here, just to see how his tyres are holding up. I imagine they'll be quite good, but I wonder if our tyre app gives us any information here. I can find it, and there we are. And no information from the tie wrap as expected. But Andreas Schulder looking like the car's on rails at the moment, and no real issues for him at the moment. The car looking very, very good at the moment. No lockups, no mistakes. It's all very clean. And the tyres seeming to be perfectly fine. Is Dmitry Kamyshov the next person to head to pit lane? And again, just slowly heading around the track. Of course, pace well far off of what you would see in qualifying, but still. The guy's showing that the consistency is there. And across the line, that's going to be a 43.4, and so a very competitive race lap there. Still 4 seconds off what you would have set in qualifying though. We've just got to show the difference between these cars in race trim and qualifying trim. Very interesting insight, but the top 4 is separated by what seems to be around 50 seconds at the moment. Maxi Younger though has found himself behind Alex Cochrane. And this is going to be a battle that should be quite interesting, as Maxi will be lining up his run down this next straight for the DRS. And will Alex recede to Maxi here? Don't think Maxi is close enough at the moment. And no, not yet. Maxi will have to hold off for the moment. Maxi trying to line up the final corner. Looking like Alex has got a little bit more traction than Maxi here. And the DRS, you can see, slowly closing in on Alex there, but not long enough for the DRS straight. This next one will be the killer, though, for Alex Cochrane, and he needs to make the most of this exit. And that is a spun car. It looks like Christoph Bose, the unfortunate one there, spinning round. And Maxi Younger is looking very close on this attempt. Go to the trackside cameras, but Maximilian Younger, is he going to be able to make a move? It's not going to be close enough for Maxi. Must be infuriated. He's going for a dive bomb, and that's not going to work on that occasion. Dave Selford coming into the pits. We'll have a look at what tyres he's putting on in a little while, as we just stay on board with this little battle for P5, sorry. Very, very close between these two now. We'll go to the rear view camera once again of Alex Cochrane. So, Maxi Younger, he's going around the outside, but it's not going to work this time. Maxi Younger, he's finally got the DRS that he wanted, and is he going to make the move stick? It's looking like he's just lost out there. He will be wanting to get past Alex as soon as possible here. Not holding anything back. He tries to go around the outside there, but it's not going to happen. We're not on board with Maxi here, facing forward this time. Maxi trying to get the better exit here, but not looking like he has done this lap. Still within DRS though for the next straight, unless he makes a mistake here, which hopefully he doesn't. And Alex Cochrane, the one making the mistake there, and that's going to cost him dear on this next little straight coming up here. Here we go then. This could be the move that we've been waiting for. Maxi Younger, he's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream. He's heading into this corner, and Maxi Younger, is he going to make the move? And he has done. And Alex Cochrane receding the position there. And making it stick. A very good move there from Maxi. Very, very close between those two there. But the move is done. Alex Cochrane, a little bit of a mistake there. As this his tyres slowly starting to fade away then. It could be the issue here for Alex Cochrane. The audio there just cutting out slightly. Andreas Schilder coming into the pits. This is the one I wanted to see. We'll see what tyres he goes onto then. I imagine there will be another set of mediums, I would have thought. For Andreas here. As he heads into his box. Griffin Gaming guys pulling off another fast pit stop on a set of mediums for Andreas Schilder. As Andreas still in the lead after that pit stop. Just shows the gap he's made. It makes no difference in terms of when he pits or not. And Dave Salford now actually looking very close to make some more tea for him. And that is perfect for him. Dave can keep the pace up. He'll be all over Mixer in no time here, and we'll be fighting for P2 once again in today's race. And speaking of Maximilian Younger in the top 5, as I said, that he enters pit lane, and that is going to drop him down a few positions. Dave Salford though, catching up to Mixer Motifrum, and he's looking like he's caught up by quite a bit. Dave Salford now all over the rear. And who's that spun around Tim Omlu? It looks like on the left side there you can see the yellow name, meaning that he's had an incident there. And Dave Salford then. He'll be wanting to get past Mixer Motif from here. So go on board with him. I must say the DAC on board, looking very, very nice indeed. As Dave Salford then will be looking to hone in Mixer Motif and maybe get the move done on the start finish straight. Although we haven't seen many moves be done there, apart from dive bombs. But apart from that, no real moves being made. On the start finish straight, but let's see if Dave Salford could change that. Dave Salford then is looking for a move, and he's made the dive bomb on Mixer Motif from a little bit of a drift coming out that corner from Dave Salford. Passing in style as per usual from Dave Salford there. DSC, clearly not forgetting about the coronavirus pandemic stay-at-home message on the back of that car there, as you can see. But let's see if Mixer can keep in the DRS range of Dave Salford here. Be interesting to see if he can keep up with him. Maxi Younger, a 42.0 from him, the fastest lap of the race so far. So it could be pace here from Maxi to come. For Dave Salford, the story at the moment, up to P2 in today's race. Sanjay Sholder running away as we head into 10 laps remaining here at the Singapore Grand Prix here tonight. And well, I don't think we really saw Dave Salford all the way at the top of this field. Mixer Motifrum in P3. Couldn't really have called that one when you looked at the Straka standings. Max Younger, if he hadn't had that fuel issue at the start of the race, would have been well within the mix of that top 3, I reckon. And of course, Christoph Bose there in P6, actually the closing in on Alex Cochrane. I say that as Alex Cochrane has appeared to have made some sort of mistake. Christoph Bose getting past Alex Cochrane there. Stephen Hepner, something has happened to Hepner here. Not quite sure what, but at a standstill here at the side of the track. Not what we'd like to see. It could be another DNF here tonight, unfortunately. Alex Cochrane will be wanting to get his own back on Christoph Bose here, and he's doing so quite erratically. Caught up quite quickly to Christoph Bose to see if he can keep the pressure on and apply it to his fullest. Maximilian Younger, a DNF here tonight. Is that what I just saw? And it looks like a connection issue for Maxi Younger, and that is catastrophic. That is absolutely brutal for Maxi on his final race here in the Premier Series. A software error for Maxi ends his race here tonight, and that's not what we wanted to see here today. It was a strong comeback from an already strucken race, and to end it like that, I don't think that's the way to go out. Hopefully we'll see Maxi make some form of comeback here, but with 10 laps to go, I don't think we can see much happening there. Unfortunate to see with the race so close to the end. That's Cochrane then. He's still looming down on Christoph Bose here, and he's not letting him go without a fight. Stephen Heppener, let's see if he's moving again. He is indeed, slowly but surely getting around the circuit, which is good to see him back on track. So that's Cochrane with the DRS. He's going to go around the outside here of Christoph Bose. And that is going to be a super move from Alex Cochrane to go around the outside at the end of the DRS straight. And he's actually made the move stick, Alex Cochrane, with what I think to be the move of the race here tonight. That was absolutely superb from Alex Cochrane. Played Christoph like a fiddle there, and an absolutely super move. And that moves him up to P5. This could be a lot better we see towards the end of the race, with both drivers trading DRS, and that was a super move. I hope someone can clip that one for us. Glad we called that one on stream. Otherwise, Alex would have been shouting at me for that one. It's Christoph Bose then, still on the rear of Alex here, and Alex will be. We want to extend that gap to 1 second and maybe extend it even further on from that. It looks like Alex might be able to do so, as Christoph Bose makes a little bit of an error coming out of the final corner there, and promotes Alex a few tenths of a second up the road. Yeah, it looks like Max Younger stepping back into the car then. Of course, with still P12 at the moment if he comes back now, with what appears to be 7 laps remaining. I don't know whether he'll be able to make any positions back. We'll see. As he heads back into the car again, as Alex Cochrane. He tried to make the gap extend, but it happened the opposite for him here today, as Christoph Bose now still within DRS. He's actually gained a bit there as Alex Cochrane, but not enough to keep him out of DRS range at the moment. And Christoph Bose finding another 4 tenths of a second after that long straight, and that has promoted him well back into the fight here, unless Alex can find a few more bits of time in this next sector. And he is doing so just as he needs to at the moment. Christoph needs to start picking up the pace a little bit to keep up with Alex here, and that'll promote him back into the DRS range, and he has done with those last few corners. Is that going to be enough for the detection zone? I'm not sure where it is, but it looks like Christoph has indeed got it. He's got the DRS once again, and this battle is going to continue for another lap. And that is Stephen Heppener going across the track there as Mike Thompson. Another DNF here tonight as Max Younger is back on track, but with not quite sure what's going on there. There is two Maxi Youngers. That is very confusing. Maybe Maxi Younger rejoining in a different car. I do not know, but that is confusing. And I'm gonna just assume that is Maxi, but he is now stone dead last. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on. Christoph Bose then back to the actual battles on track. He's losing a bit of time there to Alex Cochrane. And is now out of DRS range, and Alex Cochrane will be rubbing his hands together now then, with 5 laps remaining. Or just about 5 laps to go. 6 or 5. We'll see as Andreas comes across the line on this next lap. I suppose he's back into DRS again, providing us with some late game racing action here tonight as Tim Omloo comes into the pits. And Andreas Schilder, fastest lap of the race for him, 0.17, as he finds some more time then on those old tyres. Not quite sure he's done that. Maybe low fuel saved a bit of battery and gone for a hot lap. But the battle at the moment is Christoph Bose and Alex Cochrane for P5. The battle for the top 5 position at the moment. Alex Cochrane ain't giving up this one without a fight, and Christoph Bose knows that from his previous encounter with him. As Bose and Alex Cochrane then make it contact, and that is not what they wanted either. 5 laps towards the end. Shouldn't see a battle go down like that, but unfortunately Christoph having to concede a position there or two. But Alex Cochrane then getting off with that one then towards the end of this race. Your leader then, Andreas Schilder, has not done a foot wrong this race then, with rounding out the 40th lap, heading on to lap 41. The last 4 laps, we'll see if anything happens. Christoph Bose coming to the pits, of course, after that incident with him and Alex Cochrane. That will not be what he wanted at all, and that's going to push him back by quite a bit down the field, I'm sure. Maybe not as far as Cyprian Stoian, but he's going to drop into P7 nonetheless. Christoph Bose coming up behind Dave Brave then, 28 seconds behind. I don't think he's going to be able to make anything move there, unfortunately. Let's see if we've got any more battles here, but at the moment it's looking like we've just got some laps towards the end at the moment. Mason Motifen not really catching up to Dave's output here, and looks like Dave is actually gaining on Mixer. So no battles going to be happening here unless someone makes a mistake, but I don't think that's going to happen this late in the race. Everyone seems to be in the zone at the moment. Lap 42 of 45 then, heading towards the last few laps. Unfortunately, not got much action going on at the moment, with everyone being so spread out. But at the moment, the race leader, Andreas Schulder, again, not really done a foot wrong this race, and has got a 22-second lead at the moment. And he's played the strategy like a fiddle. He's played everyone like a fiddle, and it's all played off in his favour tonight here at Singapore. One of the most trickiest tracks on the calendar, I would say. And I believe in front of him, this is Alex Cochrane, if I'm not mistaken. It is indeed. Lapping Alex Cochrane is Andreas Schulder. And that is, just shows you the pace that Andreas has actually got in today's race. Lapping up to P5. David Halligan still setting some good times at the moment, and not quite catching up to Mixon Motifum, and I think he's losing a little bit of pace to him as well at the moment. So don't think we could see a battle forming here anytime soon, especially with 2 laps to go. David Halligan actually catching a little bit up to Mixon Motifum from here. During the last few stages of the race, David Halligan is showing some 44.5s at the moment, which I think is a few tips quicker than what Mixon Motifum is putting on the table at the moment, which is good to see. It's late in the race, but of course Mixer a little too far up the road at the moment. You can see the upper side of the circuit there. That's nice to see. But yep, Dave Southwood looking to be too far up the road for Mixon Motifum as well, and that is an issue for Mixon Motifum. As the server just died for me, that's going to be an issue. We will come back very, very shortly. Well, I'm not quite sure what's happened here, ladies and gentlemen, but I've come back and it's all over the place. Not quite sure whether the race has been discontinued or not, but I'll let you know very, very shortly. But no, at the moment, it appears to be Dave Southwood who takes the win. I'm not quite sure what's happened to our leader, Andreas Schilder. He doesn't seem to be on the list, which is concerning, unless he's already finished the race. My results page won't show that. But yeah, Dave Southwood, yeah, it looks like a massive server kick, unfortunately, towards the end of that race. And that's thrown out the likes of... trying to see where everyone is. But at the moment, can't really see so much at the moment, unfortunately. But that's looking like that's going to be the end of the Singapore Grand Prix. There will be provisional results here on the screen at the moment, but the official results will change towards the end of the race here tonight. So, yeah, we do apologise for that strange ending to the Singapore Grand Prix. But of course, if you want to see the official results here tonight, Dave Southwood, the unofficial winner here tonight. But we'll see whether that changes later on. And you can see all the results on our Discord page, as you can see in the stream description. If you want to see more action like here tonight, here at Singapore, you can join the Premier Series, which we do have a few rounds left, and I believe we have a few teams with open slots, so go ahead, join the Discord and find yourself a team, get involved, and yeah, we'll see you at the next round. Thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you later.